Season 2, Week 13. I'm Taylor Reflections Noble, joined by Ryan Full Summers, as we're now heading into the second game of FNI versus UYU. First match ended up being UYU taking it over FNI 5-2. And now we head into, of course, Exhibit, UYU's absolute most dominant map, I would have to say. And it's definitely had me worried for FNI, but I will say, look at FNI leading the way, though, Ryan. 227 and counting. They might, they're absolutely going to take this 250 as UYU. They're not even spawning to make up.
It's a much better start, I would say, than map number one. Of course, map number one was a 5-2 in favor of UYU. The map was, of course, District. And when you kind of see that happen, you look at map number two and say, man, Exhibit, UYU's map pick. This is probably sitting at a 2-0, but Fire Nice, they're making this interesting. Like I said, their LATAM counterparts, Estral, had a 4-2 lead over UYU in round number one. Unfortunately, did not manage to close that out. UYU then took tiebreaker with fair ease to put us over in the semifinals. See if Fire Nice can maybe pick up where they left off and get a little bit of a, kind of to me, an upset win, because again, UYU is just too strong on Exhibit.
Look at BGOT 6-0. Exploits at 6-1. Not a bad start for them. As you could say, they are feeling confident and they're looking solid. Can't wait to actually watch a full round between these two, right, in round number two. And I want to see what FNI did, right? What was their success story to win in such a dominant faction round number one? There's a battle on the sides once again going to be taking place. Stuns are going to be placed. BGOT smells opportunity. Pushes up and forced to back off just for the time being, but hits Mental with a nice shot. Forced to go into mid. Continues to hit nice shots. Crystallized, though, trying to capitalize in that very moment, unable to do so. UYU making a great push, a great break, it seems. Pushing FNI back. And with Crystallize dropping, it's only a matter of time before Exploits goes down potentially, and there he is. And B is going to be into the hands of UYU.
Yeah, very quick 4 down, the last remaining member of Fire Nice. Sitting up top, we'll see if these teams do a little better than our last matchup when it comes to those lasers.
Oh,
those lasers were absolutely deadly in round number one. Raver's just kind of sitting there waiting for some sort of action. He's going to finally be met by a member of UYU. In the meantime, UYU down low, holding that EB hill down, just continue to kind of build that lead up, and they're sitting there and they're waiting for this push. Revives come through, the Wolfpack is underway. Let's see if the members of Fire Nice can start to kind of make an impact, make a dent. Some early kills, and I was just talking about how the lasers were having an impact. Summons dies to the lasers.
That's insane, and Solar's now last alive.
4 dead.
As we're going to see FNI pushing forward, now going for the triple cap, as Solars did get dropped, praised off of spawn. He's got to go for this break. Choche needs help, though. You never want to be in a 1v1 against any of the members from UYU. And a touch will happen as UYU looks to go for this full break, but having a little bit of trouble. Choche, good spacing, not going to be enough. UYU will live to fight yet another day, but at what cost? They've lost a lot of lives. You got Explosive and Praise both sitting at 2 out of 4 lives. Praise will be spawning back up at 1 out of 4 summons. He's already going to be spawning up on his last life if he so chooses. And he actually might not spawn back in. I'm definitely curious to see what he's going to be doing. But FNI fighting very well, but Respawn economy on both sides. I mean, it's hurting. It's looking pretty low. But UYU will recover, close that point deficit, 146 to 142.
Mental just putting in so much damage. Finally met by a couple different members of Fire and Ice. I don't know if those members of FNI know, Mental has some backup in the form of Praised. Praise gets one. That's going to take Crystallize out Raver. Stuck in a tough spot. Mental's going to finish that off. So an early kill did come through for Fire and Ice, but UYU quickly answered back with 3, make that 4 of their own. Now B got the last remaining member. Mental times his shot, hits him with an absolute brick. Crystallize choosing to spawn right back in. Choche as well, and I'm not sure if that's the right decision, Taylor, because now UYU, they have the 2 cap right at the 200-point mark, and there's still plenty of rounds to go in this half. The likelihood of coming out, getting this wipe, and finishing it, I would say fairly low.
Yeah, and well,
no unless the caster curse is underway.
Well, we'll definitely have to see. It's going to unfold very shortly. Have just a couple more seconds. FNI will, in fact, take over Bravo. Crystallize gets a nice drop on the summons to fight now to force Explosives back. He did get the break onto B, but now when you see FNI get over towards A, win condition still not in their favor. UYU wins currently, and that's unfortunate for Exploits, who was going to be the first one leading the Cavalry forward. And they're getting close, but it's not going to be enough time to get that break, and it is going to be UYU winning that 250. And like you said, a very bold play to spawn back in, and it doesn't work.
You know, they actually could have had it, but they spent so much time
on that fight on Bravo,
trying to find explosive and trying to finish that kill off. So again, we talk about those kind of plays that some of these players make, where basically, you know, they're not necessarily getting a big kill, not a double kill, you know, not a hill cap, whatever it is, but they're just wasting their opponent's time in that situation from explosive, where he just got to kind of dance around the hill and make these 3 players continue to chase him around. That was that much less time where they're pushing towards that home hill. Had F&I had more resources on the home hill, that could have very well been a round win.
I agree, and it's unfortunate for F&I, but you got to, you know, look at the respawn, right? You got Summons on 1, Praised at 1, and you only have 1 player. That's going to be BGod, who started off, by the way, absolutely on fire with 6-0 on his first, after the first round. It kind of fell off a little bit, but for the most part, he's still okay as long as he doesn't get dropped off here off the initial start. Praise is looking to change that, but a nice shot will in fact drop him. And Mental puts himself out of positioning, trying to go for that revive, unable to do so. And now you got Crystallize and BGod trying to bully him. Mental will pull up huge as Crystallize and BGod will drop. That is a great play from Mental overall, holding his own and dropping BGod to his last life.
Mental's continuing to move forward.
Ooh, good movement.
Getting shots, creating space. Obviously, he has that team fire from the back. Finally does hit the full spread to finish it off. So Fire and Ice can have a world of trouble right now. BGod sitting on his very, very last life. Of course, Praise and Summons are as well. But UYU continue to gain control and continue to put some kills on the board. See what Fire and Ice can do to respond. There's still plenty of opportunity. Again, there are 2 members of UYU sitting on 0 lives. Let's see if they can make them pay.
Got to single out Praised and Summons. Looks as if Summons has in fact been spotted. He was dropped down just a little bit. There's going to be Explosives pushing in. He does get dropped. Good pickup though from Solars, and we are going to see a player drop off. Exploits Raver. UYU continues to push in. As the break onto B, they're not going to worry about that. They're just going to continue to apply this pressure. I think they understand how critical it is to take BGod out and continue to push F&I back. And UYU at this point in time, it's safe to say, they've got map presence, they've got map control, and they're in control of Bravo and Charlie with the point lead. Plus, they've got 3 players on their last life, and this is only round 3.
Yeah, both teams, like I said, sitting on thin ice right now when it comes to those respawn economies. Of course, Fire and Ice on much, much thinner ice. 4 different members on their very last life. UYU looking very poised to take their first lead now on this exhibit map. And as Crystallize falls, he spawns back in. Taylor, that's going to put literally all 5 if they do manage to get that kill. It's getting aggressive. Summons, one of those players also has to be pretty careful. On the bottom side, Raver, Choche, they both drop. That's not good for Fire and Ice.
Shot.
It will be enough. Permanent 44 on the map, but just, again, Fire and Ice have to be near flawless for the rest of this round.
Absolutely do. Charlie has been neutralized but not gained. Choche has dropped off. BGod will also drop himself. Can he get finished? He does not. He gets picked back up. Crystallize rotating in. The only one with another life to spare.
And again, 2 different players right now, taking their time and just kind of worrying about Praised. Members of UYU back off spawn. Fire and Ice, they find themselves on a couple hills. Members of UYU actually on the C hill, and all of a sudden, Taylor, that's 4 dead. Mental's just the last player alive. What just happened? Fire and Ice. Looked like they were about to fall apart and just flip the map on its own. Mental goes down. That's 5 dead. The player off spawn can't get there in time.
It was a 5v3.
What just happened?
It was a 5v3.
Fire and Ice clutching up to the occasion. I mean, I don't even know how to call that.
A 5v3.
They had 4, I think actually even 5 members.
Look at them now.
On their very last respawn, on the thinnest ice possible.
Oh, no,
UYU started to chain together the kills, Praise, wasting 2 different players' time in middle. Everything looking just very, very strong for UYU to finish the round off. And somehow, some way, Fire and Ice chain together kills on both home hills. They get the neutral hill. Everything at once, just like the table just turned over.
Yeah, you had 2 players from F&I who were completely out of lives. You had BGod, who was the only one sitting at 1 of 4. He got picked up even though he got dropped down to all 4s. And then you had 2 others who were still on their last life. UYU, despite having Praised and Summons on their last life, they were still up. It was a 5v3 at that point in time. And a domination came through, and F&I ends up taking over that victory. That is massive. But they've got to repeat that success. They've got to do it again because they're still down in respawn economy.
It's impressive play. It's 1 round. Unfortunately for Fire and Ice, they have that kind of battered up respawn economy on yet another round. So a lot of opportunity for UYU to kind of just tie this back up at 2-2. You're going to see Choche already taken down to his very last life. And if you're UYU, you can pretty much just play this slow, right? You can pretty much play for trades. You can kind of let the fight come to you, get kills as they come, because eventually Fire and Ice will just simply run out of lives. And you can see how slow they're playing that mental and explosive. Just played that so well. The dynamic duo just making it look easy. And like I said, every single kill that does come in the kill feed in favor of the Swarm team is going to make it that much harder for Fire and Ice. And you can't imagine, like I said, they take miracle rounds like that, more than once or twice.
Got to be thinking, right, Exploit's in a tough position. He's going to be tagged up. Nice Incend to drop him. That pushed B-God in an awkward position, but he's coming and rising to the occasion as he had a nice shot, but unfortunately gets dropped. Raver to follow, Crystallize as well. And that's going to be 3 down. Exploits Choche, last life along with B-God. And UYU currently retaking their own home hill.
They're sitting pretty. Look at the left side of your screen, Taylor.
Yeah,
all 5 players,
0-4.
That nice red skull next to them. That means every single kill from here on out for UYU will take these players permanently off the map. You're seeing how these 2 players are kind of just pinned back over towards the spawn of Fire and Ice. And at the end of the day, you don't have the 2-cap. You only have 1 hill. You can't win that way. You have to make a move forward. So Fire and Ice need basically a near flawless push, wipe, and trip cap, because any trades, any kills, that's just going to favor UYU because those players can't come back on the map.
100%. Now they got to be thinking about that. How are they going to play their life? I mean, well, B-God already is going to get dropped off. Now it's a 5v4.
Like I said, that's the start, right? Every single kill from here on out.
There it is.
Going to make it that much harder. Choche, let's get a nice kill, but every single one of these trades is going to make it that much harder. And eventually, like I said, you do run out of lives. UYU very quickly tying it right back up at 2-2. So now, I would normally say that the hills flip and everything, but we are on exhibit, so the hills actually do not flip.
They just change letters.
Everyone's respawns go right back up to 4. How about that? And of course, the escalation spawn timers are going to shoot right back up. We are going to be back onto long spawns, so either team can get a couple early kills, can be setting those numbers out. A lot of opportunity for a trip cap early on.
Yeah. Still, though, could be much different, right? UYU could be leading 3-1. That was still an impressive win regardless to keep it tied up for F&I coming off of that round number 3, right? I mean, being in a 5v3 situation. F&I keeping this as close as they are is pretty impressive to say the least. I mean, let's not forget when UYU played Estral just a little bit earlier. They almost lost that, and honestly, they probably should have lost that. I mean, you saw the major comebacks. Estral 1 point at 248 in round 1. They would have won that. They would have won the series. Explosive going down with the Incend. That's going to open up the door. Crystallize now in a tough position. Good mantle, but Crystallize capitalizes, and he gets joined by his teammate. UYU making some big mistakes.
Good play coming in from Fire and Ice, getting the kill, getting the revive. That leaves Solars now as the last remaining member for UYU. Fire and Ice going to make their way over towards the home hill, but that last player making an impact, again, taking the resources away from Fire and Ice. It's going to give UYU plenty of time to respawn, so a heads-up play by Solars does buy them the time they need to get right back on the map. And like I said, the more chances you give this team, the harder it is to beat them. Let's see what Fire and Ice can do now as we head to the kind of the second total wave of respawns.
Dini in the hands of F&I, and UYU back at full force. Choche continues bringing out the chainsaw. He's waiting. He's anxious. That's the equivalent of the COD YY, I guess. If I had to guess. UYU looking to make some moves. 2 players up top, and hopefully Crystallize can call this out because these 2 players from UYU could make something interesting happen. But Crystallize forced to back up, help Choche down low. The Incend luckily is going to be missed, so that's going to be one less utility UYU has to work with. But as he backs off, does that push Solars up? And it will, in fact. Choche, opportunity to push in. He will get the trade. But you see the kill feed. It's going to be red. As Raver and Crystallize B got down to fight. Crystallize needs to win this, and the punch comes through. He goes down. UYU attempting to get the trip cap.
Yeah, I mean, Raver down the last remaining member. All of his teammates are gone. These are long spawns. These are situations where it is just that much harder. One of these guys has to get a touch. Can anyone get there? The 1 yard line. Choche doesn't make it in. A good start from Fire and Ice, but again, on those long spawn rounds, you cannot let a team like UYU grab those quick numbers because they will move forward. They will dominate. And very quickly can they turn around over, and now UYU once again taking that lead on exhibit again. This is their map pick. This is kind of their obvious favorite map, and
sure,
map that a lot of teams have had, a lot of struggles beating them on.
Yeah, this is obviously one of their strongest maps to play on. This and Vasco, and actually quickly becoming Icebound. as the map pool does begin to widen. But
really quick, guys, to give you a bit of an update over on our other semifinal match. We do have Reciprocity versus Rise Nation. Reciprocity won map 1 on District. Now as we head into map number 2, Reciprocity's map pick, Rise Nation are winning 3-1 on Training Ground, so we'll continue to keep you guys updated with what's going on there. If that goes to a tiebreaker, we'll of course make sure we cover that as well. But we are going to stick on board with this UYU Fire and Ice exhibit. This map has been very, very back and forth, very fun to watch. Both teams putting it all out there. And to me, this is kind of a big swing round, Taylor. If you're UYU, moving this out to a 4-2, you have the kind of the 1-0 lead. The only thing I'll say is in our last matchup, the team that had a 1-0 map lead and a 4-2 on exhibit ended up falling in the whole series. So you got to imagine the UYU team that probably, they wouldn't let that happen.
You would think so, but anything is possible. And like you continue to highlight, like we've continued to highlight Emergence, right? Any team has the potential to beat any team at this point in time, right? So I think X minus that of Reciprocity, I think the only one really is UYU. It's the only team that really has beat them, at least in terms of the overall Pro League. But that's, I think, a very small snapshot of what we can expect from Mexico. But FNI is still a very talented team regardless. Yeah, and hey, UYU might potentially lose, you never know, but currently they're in control. And like you said, this is a big round. If they get a 4-2, I could imagine UYU losing.
Yeah, they're a team very good at closing maps out when they have an advantage. Very, very few times do they let a big comeback happen. They continue to extend that lead out now as we cross the first kind of milestone of the 100 points. UYU continuing to go about 50 points and counting. Choche trying to make his way over towards Explosive. Explosive is going to get the better end of that engagement. He is going to preserve the UYU home hill, and that lead is going to continue to build. Raver trying to make a play, misses one, doesn't miss the second. Quickly backs off in the face of some more pressure.
Raze, though, will get a nice connection with the instant onto B-God. Raver still backing up, good movement. Explosive, though, finally will get the final shot. That's going to drop 3 players. B-God exploits Raver, but luckily Choche clutches up when he needs to. He'll stay alive. But now it's getting down to the point where UYU has a massive lead, and FNI has no choice but to get 2 breaks, and UYU continues to slay out. That should put the final nail in the coffin, and FNI has to, kind of think, do we want to continue to respawn?
There's no point. 220 mark, down 2 hills, and you got to spawn back in, make your way across the map. There's not enough time. Fire and Ice. They got to make a comeback now, right? You got to chain together 3 rounds in a row, and what a tougher team to do that against them. This UYU team, full of composure, and again, this is their map pick, this is their playground. They're going to move on to yet another grand finals for this squad. They're 1 round away from doing it.
Ooh. I actually just realized the irony here is the fact that UYU is playing FNI, and they're using the FNI skins, the weapon skins overall.
Showing some love.
You get love, but you're also
getting
beat by your own weapon skins, man.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part.
What do they rock in Mexico, you think?
What are they going to rock in Mexico? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I feel like at the last couple events there have been some kind of skin on land that we don't have online yet, so a lot of teams will choose some of those, but we'll see. Like I said, a lot of skins out there.
Unless they constantly just continue to use the skins of whoever they're playing. If they have a weapon skin, of course, in game.
Play little mind games with them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then, I mean, if we get a UYU weapon skin eventually, UYU's branding is beautiful. So I can't even imagine what that would look like on a weapon skin. The great color scheme, again. They have, a lot of cool designs with their logo and branding. Again? It's like red, black.
That's right,
a lot of
red,
reds
black.
And blacks and whites. And
I love anything red and black.
A lot of cool designs on their jerseys. Like that on a weapon skin would be heat.
Anything red and black, like I'm a huge fan of. I think it's just a clean color scheme. It's kind of like don't mess with me.
We'll see if we can hold a candle to the greatest esports weapon skin of all time. That was the Season 1 Team Envious Gears of War 4 skin. I'll make sure I mention every broadcast.
I know that's super biased, but it's not wrong. It's not wrong. I was
going to say, it could be biased, but most people agree. Optic fans didn't always agree.
I thought it was the cleanest. I loved it.
And it glowed in the dark. Our skin and Optic skin glowed in the dark.
See, just that little extra touch, little extra finesse.
Just that icing on top.
Just the icing on top, baby. Talk about the icing on top.
Speaking of
mental,
finesse,
yeah. Exploits from the corner gets absolutely taken out. As UYU now currently leading 4-2. Just a little update for you guys. We're going to a game 3 between Rise and Reciprocity. It ended up, Training Grounds ended 5-2. Rise ended up taking it. Now we're pushing into Asylum. So after this matchup, we're going to get to watch Rise versus Reciprocity in game number 3. And it's anybody's night. Absolutely anybody's night. A lot of storylines there that we'll kind of discuss, especially when we switch over to that one. But first we have to finish here. And FNI continues to hold on as they've got a nice sizable lead. UYU, though, still in control of the neutral hill. As unfortunately, a missed Incend does roll through. And of course, Exploit's back. You got to be thinking, right? F&I, they've got to make a break here very shortly. And where's that break going to be? It seems as if now it's going to be onto E.
Yeah, they've chosen a lane. You saw all those members in that Oracle mode. Push is underway. UYU is ready. You see explosive praise. Will lighten up the kill feed. Mental getting aggressive, and now you got to wonder, is he going to make his way back over to the neutral? Is he going to push forward and try and finish this right now? He is met by the king himself, Choche. Choche's got to do a lot more than that if he's going to make this play. Look at the team fire. If you look at the pinch, UYU just surrounding these members of Fire and Ice.
And Bigot drops to his last life too. He'll go ahead and spawn back in, knowing that he kind of needs to. Right, this is the last opportunity for F&I to stay alive in this tournament. They lost District 5-2, and now Exhibit. This could be the final nail in the coffin. And luckily for Exploits, the instant misses, but look at that team fire coming in so strong. And he'll capitalize not only on 1, but 2 as the finish comes in. F&I still with the minor lead, though. UYU currently does not win. They've got to get this capture, and Raver and Bigot will start slaying out. Does F&I still have wind in their sails?
Like I said, they got that 2 cap now. They got it at the right time. We're going to see if the members of UYU choose to spawn back in. I'm taking a look at Summons. He does jump back onto the map. Explosive. Hasn't spawned in just yet. Let's see if he makes that decision. Looks like he will not. Not really sure why Summons decided to throw that spawn in, especially if Explosive didn't, but either way, Fire and Ice do get themselves back on the board now. The map isn't over just yet. UYU still obviously in quite a bit of control, but Fire and Ice, they still got a little fight in them.
Yeah, they do, and that's encouraging to see. Still, though, they're going to have to battle like they did in the first half, and that's going to be a battle against their own respawn economy, which is pretty low, specifically for Bigot. And why? Well, Bigot is the guy who gets into the mix. He's the one who continues to slay out the main slayer, if you will, for F&I, at least when it does come to Exhibit. So he's not going to be slowing down anytime soon, but there's 2 edges to a sword, right? Both of them can cut you. Although he is the main slayer and he's got to get into the mix, I can also put him at a risky position of losing his life and getting down to 0. And that could be a bad positioning. But luckily, the Incense will, in fact, be disabled. That's going to be a big move, right? Because UYU, they're great at connecting onto those utilities.
You can see Bull Talk on the back end for both teams. I say quite a bit of utility over on the Swarm side. UYU going to have both an Incend and Shock Grenade to their disposal. It's going to make it just so much harder, especially over in the neutral hill. So many pieces of equipment to just kind of keep players off. Obviously get kills, the Incend with that insta-kill potential, always a factor. Here comes UYU, that early piece of utility comes through, and it always seems to be praised. Getting that utility in there, whether it's Flashbang, Incend, Shock, and getting right in the middle this time. It's like Fire and Ice is ready. As the trades come underway, and Mental forced to keep his head down. Now he's getting pushed.
Yeah, and that was great team fire from Bigot, right? Being able to keep him down so he doesn't get the finish. The battle for E continues to take place. Choche now in a big position and unfortunately gets taken down. Mental will also follow up onto Bigot, and Raver is going to be the last one, forced to backtrack. Up top is Solar's applying that pressure. D&E going to be locked in for UYU, but the biggest story to tell is Bigot now on his last life, and he's the one who loves to be the main aggressor in those early fights. But Raver winning this up top fight is pretty big, and that opens up that lane. That forces Praise to kind of back up.
Yeah, Praise kind of baits him out, knows he has help there. Raver can only see one of those players, and now he finds himself stuck between a member off spawn and a few different members over on UYU's side of the map. And the Swarm team continues to slay out. I mean, like you said, the respawn economy on the right looking pretty healthy. On the other end, you're going to have Bigot on 0, Exploit on 0, and Crystallize on 0. Not looking good if you are a fan of Fire and Ice. UYU in complete control, and I have a feeling we're going to see a pretty similar situation that we saw in the first half. Eventually, Fire and Ice are just going to run out of lives.
Well, either that or we're going to see a similar situation as we did in round number 2, where F&I had 3 players, 5 players, all in the last life and still got a triple cap. Although that shouldn't happen twice, especially against teams such as UYU, as Crystallize will in fact be done. He is now out and out of lives. As it looks like Bigot holding his own despite being on his last life. He knows he has to put in work. And unfortunately, his push will end there. He's now dropped to bring down to a 5v3. Summons will be on his last life, but UYU have such a significant lead, not only in overall respawn economy, but in overall points. And with Raver dropping off too, that's a bit tough. He does have a couple more lives. Choche, though, up close, he's going to get dropped off. He'll be on his last life. Crystallize has dropped himself. Exploits B-God now out. It's Raver and Choche versus the world. And there's just nothing that can be done as the break is going to happen. And even if Raver wins this, it's all in vain. UYU will take it 5-3 to win this series over FNI and push themselves into grand finals once again with a 2-0 victory.